Welcome, guys, to John's Football Channel. This is your post review to Norway 1, England 2. England have made it to the semi-finals. Well done, boys. A very tight game, very interesting game of football. I think for the neutrals, we can all agree that it wasn't probably the most entertaining. And I think most games, most big games, we have this idea that it's gonna be very entertaining. It's gonna be end to end. But I think most times it's not. I think most teams know the opposition, what they have in their artillery. They know what they're capable of, and I think hence both teams do tend to become more compact, be more defensive, knowing that if something goes wrong, it's very difficult to actually get the draw and then get the win, like we saw with Norway. Very good win, a very good goal from one of their players on the wing. They end up getting the ball over Pickford. I think obviously most of us would actually think that was a cross more than a shot at goal, but it went in. Fair play to him. Fair play to Norway. The ball goes. I think it dips obviously over Pickford, and I think hence why he doesn't get at the end, and it ends up hitting the post and going in. So very good goal from Norway from minute 36, and then obviously I think Norway's lands up being more defensive, becoming more difficult to actually break down, and I think it was a thing of England not willing or not having the capabilities at that stage to actually break Norway down. I think obviously it's difficult to break down a low block in a sense. I mean, we could see at times Haaland was towards the midfield trying to defend as well and help Norway. Very good to see from a striker that actually helps the midfield and helps the defense. Very good to see from him. But yeah, I think from England's point of view, I think they could have been a lot more quick on the ball. We saw that, for example, I think it was Bellingham's first goal. We saw that they were all that needed was a direct pass into Bellingham's pass. He was able to take a first touch, move it away from the defender, and slot it into the side netting of the goals. That was a very good goal, and you could clearly see from that short clip, it was very quick and very direct. And I think that's exactly what England need in order for them to actually make it quite far in this competition. We know that England, in recent times, they've only made it to the semis 4 times. They made it in 1990, 1966, 2018, and now in 2026. So obviously there's a lot of work to be done, and they know that now. Obviously, it's also set done and sealed that Argentina will be the team that they will be versing in the semis. So they know that they need to up the levels. I mean, this is not Norway. Norway, obviously, it's their first time getting to the quarters. Very well done to them. I mean, we have to give them some respect to say that they have fought. It was an achievement for them, so fair play to them. I think they can have their heads held up high. They were able to hold England, a very good team overall, a team that is full of Premier League players, proven quality, and I think hence why Norway should be very proud of what they're able to accomplish in this competition. Respect does need to be given to Norway for their performance. And then if we look, obviously, I kept saying it, and I do believe it when I watch the game. I think this type of game and this type of England squad does lack a person like the likes of Foden, like the likes of Palmer, where they're able to create things out of nothing. And I think I do like the system that England currently have, where it's very easy to know who's going to play where and how. But I think there isn't a certain player who I can look at and say, no, this guy can change the game in a matter of seconds. I mean, you would think of, you could say Bellingham. I mean, he was very good for these 2 goals, so very fair play to him, man of the match. But if you think of the likes of, even you can even could put Rodgers in that same thing. I think Rodgers is the kind of guy where he doesn't take any nonsense. He wants what he wants and he gets it. Same with Foden, same with Palmer. They are able to take shots from distance. They're able to get in those half spaces and actually turn and actually beat their man. And I don't see that as much from Bellingham as I would see that from the other couple of midfielders that we are talking about right now. Let me know, do you guys disagree or agree? Let me know down in the comments. But I think that's how I see it. And the only player I could think of, I mean, you can see that you can change the game is Harry Kane. There was one instance where he received the ball, he turned and just shot, and it nearly tested the goalkeeper. And I think that's exactly what you need as a player. You need to be able to at any very given moment, you need to be able to hurt the keeper and keep him on his feet and test him. I mean, that's the way you win in football. That's the way we get into the next competition. That is the way we move up the ranks for our teams. And I think that's the quality England have. And I think it's just unfortunate that we haven't been utilizing it correctly. And then there was like a couple of times where Norway actually did test us. They were very, very good on the ball, very, very defensive, very, very compact. And I think it was very, very good to see that they were able to give a good fight. It was actually unfortunate that Holland didn't actually get on the score sheet. I thought maybe we know the levels of England and their midfielders and their centre backs, but I just thought somehow, some way, Holland would definitely get a goal in this game. I thought he would be a lot more hungry to actually prove everyone wrong. I don't know if the discussions before this game was played that does he actually beat the centre backs? Does he actually get to beat the likes of O'Reilly? Does he get to beat John Stones? Does he get to beat Mark Urry? Even though those are the kind of midfield centre backs that he does play with on a day-to-day basis, seeing that they all play for Man City, you would think that Holland would know their weaknesses and try to exploit it. But I suppose it's given the other way as well. No, England centre backs do know Holland as well. They do know where his strengths lie, and they do know his weaknesses. And I think that was a very, very good thing to see that they were able to apply that knowledge and actually make sure that he was shut down. And actually, as I mentioned in my preview, that if you shut down Holland, that's about 70% of Norway's attack done and complete. I mean, they're not going to be doing much with the rest of the players that they have. Although they do have decent players, will see Norway coming back. I do see that coming in the next World Cup. We will see them yet again. I don't know where they will finish the next season, the next World Cup, but we do know that they are a team to look out for and not an easy team to take advantage of. And then if you take a look, obviously, the likes of I was actually quite surprised with the likes of one of the players that came on, Jet Spence. I was very, very surprised the amount of pace that he had. I mean, we were the players that we saw coming into the squad for England. Jet Spence was a question mark. I do suppose we would understand him playing or getting into the squad as a rotational player. We know that he wasn't going to play in week out, but I never thought he would be able to play at the magnitude that he has been playing at. So very fair play. I mean, very, very good chances that he had. There was a chance where about he was able to get in the box and actually he was protecting the ball. That should have actually been a penalty for England. It's just unfortunate it didn't go their way, but it just shows you also the referees are not playing up to standard with the levels of what is a pen and what isn't. I mean, every given day, I mean, when you protect the ball, a player does end up hurting you, and then that does end up bringing you down in the box. That is a penalty regardless of how it is seen. And I think if you go in through a player to win the ball, it is a straight obvious penalty, and I think that should have been a penalty. But at any of the day, we managed to get the 3 points. We are into the next round. And it was very, very interesting to see what Tuchel had to say, despite us actually going through, saying that we're not good enough. Right now, we have the mentality. We know what needs to be done. We just didn't actually do it. We do know that the question is the environment, the weather on the night or on the day was against the squads, both squads. But it was also a thing of if you're thinking logically in a sense, your first 90 minutes probably would be your best, and you'll be able to exploit chances. You'll be able to create chances a lot more better. And I think as the game goes down, you would start to look at players and okay, this player's been playing a lot of minutes. He's been running a lot in this game. Let me take him off. That's that kind of idea that you would actually see your players like. But now I saw I think, I don't know if it was the thing of the players for both teams saw the environment, saw the conditions, and said, no, we're gonna play it easy. We're gonna do light work, and we're gonna try to survive the 120 or the 90 minutes, depending on where it finishes. And I think that's the mentality of both squads, and I think hence why the game was quite flat. There wasn't much end to end that we actually would have wanted. There wasn't much quick football being played, and I think maybe that was down to the idea that they were actually going into this game with, to stay fit and to to ride the conditions, to take it easy and try to play the conditions as is being played on the field. And then if we take a look at, not much shots were taken on goal for both teams in the first and second half. The total shots on target were, for Norway was 13, for England was 14. Shots on target was 4 and 8. So clearly we had more shots than Norway. But I suppose there's not much difference in terms of goals. I mean, it's only 2-1. So it does show you that you can have much shots on target as you would want, but if you're not clinical, you won't get the win at the end of the day. But yeah, guys, let me know down below what you guys think of this game. How do you see this game going? What are your thoughts going into the Argentina game? Obviously, what Tuchel saying, the things he said about us not being the levels that we are currently at, and we need to improve. It speaks volumes to the kind of manager he is. I mean, we all know Southgate wouldn't be speaking the same notes. He wouldn't be singing the same song that Tuchel's currently singing. Obviously, we know the levels that Tuchel is right now. I mean, for him to say that he's disappointed with the performance, even though we have went through, just speaks a lot of volumes on its own. And I think it just shows you the kind of players that he would love to have in his team, the hunger he needs. He's the kind of his ruthless aggression. He wants to be demanding of his players, and I think that it's fair play to them, and it keeps them motivated. I mean, for Southgate, if it was Southgate or even Tuchel, if he had to say no, well done to the players, they played very very good football. It kind of brings you down. It doesn't give you a level to go at. But now that Tuchel has said this, it kind of winds you up. You get angry. Like Bellingham, you could clearly see he was angry after the game, after Tuchel said those things about the squad. And now it gives them a reason to prove him wrong. It gives them a reason to say, no, look what I've done, and look, I'm gonna do it again against Argentina. Look at the levels that we are gonna bring to the table against Argentina. And I think that's exactly what Tuchel would want in order to see this England team thriving and actually succeeding in the next round. But yeah, now obviously we know that Spain is playing France. We know that England is playing Argentina. What are your thoughts? I think it's going to be very, very difficult to analyze. The way I see it, I see, if obviously I've mentioned in my preview, where if France does I do see them as a counter-attack team. I think if France get a goal against Spain, I think they will obviously win the game. I think whoever scores first will win the game. I see it as, if Spain score, they'll just say, no, okay, now it's your turn. Let France come at us, and we'll just pick you off as we go. But in the vice versa as well. If France score, then Spain will end up leaving their backline behind, and I think that's when Mbappe, Olise, Dembele lands up picking off Spain, and I think that will determine who wins in that game. But now this game with England against Argentina, it's a lot more difficult to predict. We do know the quality of both teams. We obviously, I would assume that England is a probably better squad on paper, but that obviously means nothing, as we have clearly seen in this World Cup and games. I mean, it's more how you play as a unit, and how much you are willing to fight for one another in different areas of the field. And I do think Argentina is a kind of team where they are more hungry, they are more dying for one another than England is currently. I would think that. I'm not sure if I'm wrong about that one. Let me know down below. But I would see that. I do think for that one aspect, I think Argentina do edge it over England in that aspect, and I would like to actually be proven wrong. I would like to see where England actually are they able to, in the next couple of days before they play their game, are they able to analyze their game and actually step up to another level that we haven't seen yet. Let me know down below if you guys think that's possible, and what are your thoughts and what are your score predictions for that game before that game actually takes place. So yeah, guys, this is my post review. Let me know what your thoughts below, and stay tuned for the next video. Peace.